Yeah, good day everyone. Welcome to this video. Yeah, in today's video, I'll be showing you guys how to build a Django microservices with Kubernetes as base environment, setting up some services without bothering yourself about third party and all. So let's start from the first step. So I believe you're watching my video. Before I move further, I want to make some disclaimer here. I believe you're watching my video. You have some experiences building with Django, dealing with REST framework, using Django, and how to create an APIs, and how to do all this like deploying using Docker, like making your Docker deployment go on Docker Hub, like deploying your services on Docker Hub. You not do all this stuff by yourself. That's just the thing I have to like set up before I move further to the video, to the main talk of the video. This is specifically requested by one of my subscribers. I'll have to leave his name by this side here, so you know this guy requested for the video. That's why I'm making this video for him. But I want to say this also. I believe this video can use some particular set of views that I have set within myself. I'll create a tutorial showcasing what I've illustrated here in this video. So I believe if that views have reached some certain benchmark, I can create a special video tutorials. Yes, for people that are doing this kind of videos tutorials, like to get more deeper knowledge of how it works under the hood. And apart from the persons who requested this video, I believe people are outside there that will need this video who are into Django, who are into Docker, who are into the Kubernetes. So that's the reason why I'm making this video for you guys. So let's move to the main talk of today. Yeah, the first step is like, okay, I want to create a microservices using Django web framework. Obviously, Django is a web framework of Python, and if you want to create an API, it's like a robust and sweet REST APIs, like a seamless REST APIs with Django, I will have to use this web framework because Django is like a web framework on its own. And it has special packages that I can use to create a REST framework with Django, like a REST framework. And you can use to create an REST API. So that's what I meant. As you can use to create an REST API with what? With Django. Just build on top of Django. So that's just what it is. So you have to install the packages. If you are into Django, pip install Django REST framework, and you can have your Django REST framework set up and run inside your virtual environment. So that's just about setting Django REST framework. So yes, but you need to have your microservice setup. What do my microservices? Yeah, microservices can be what, like, okay, for example, if I have like an e-commerce project, so let me just do like this little illustration here. Let me just like a little illustration here. So I have, let me use Slack here. So this is my what? This is my e-commerce. This is my e-commerce platform. My e-commerce platform that I want to set up using what? Microservices. Using microservices architecture. Because microservices and architecture, we have microservices and architecture have more than one. So if you have this kind of like platform, e-commerce platform set up as a what? Using Django REST framework. I want to set it up using the word microservice architecture. So each of these features I have here. So I have like, wow, features, each of these different features will have. Just watch out what I would do. So I will have like, let's assume I have like, wow, I have this is my e-commerce project. This is my e-commerce project. Oh god. So this is my e-commerce project. So this is my e-commerce project. So each of these features, I want to get into my e-commerce project to have some separate features. So the next 4 features might be cart, like the cart services. Yeah, I'll say that as an independent services. So the next one might be what? Might be payment services. And the next one might be what? The next one I have here. So the next one we use as what? Registration. So as an independent service on its own. So that's just how it is with using Django REST framework as to set up your microservices, like building your own e-commerce project using the microservice architecture. So if you understand that, I think that's explain that. So I was talking about e-commerce. So this e-commerce is like a Django REST framework I built using Django REST frameworks, and I set it up using microservice architecture. So inside this e-commerce project, each of these features will act as independent services. So this guy, the first guy here, has his own Docker image. Because at the end, I have to deploy it using. I have to deploy it to the Docker hub. We are going to that aspect in the second step. So I just want to use this e-commerce website as an explanation just to show how it works. I've said it earlier in the beginning of the video that when this particular video reaches a certain benchmark, like in terms of view, what I set it out to, I'll create this video, tutorial video that will explain each step line by line on how it works on how they code using this same Django REST framework. So this is the CAT services, this is the web payment services, this is the user sort and registration services. So each of these services will have its own Docker file inside it. I'll put a video here that demonstrated what I mean by Docker file. So each of these services, like CAT, the payment services, and user sort and registrations, will have each of its own Docker, like unique Docker file attached to it inside its own app folder. So when it ends, it's attached to your app folder. Let's move to when it's attached to the app folder. It give me the access to what to deploy it to Docker, how you can deploy it, and it give me access to what to use any other dependencies I want to use inside. It might be database, might be third party services like the SMS notification, might be any other service you might think of that is not provided by Django or Docker. And I believe mostly if you want to use any third party services inside this kind of project, each of those services has to have its own image or its own image inside the Docker hub. So it will just give me access to it using just NSing the name, or just explicitly setting its name inside the Docker file. So I think that's explaining what I was talking about. So it's how to set it up using creating a Django project with frameworks and using the Microservices architecture. That's what I mean here by the first step. So when I set each of this project up, and when I set up this project up with each of its what's it called, services set up with its own doc file, I have to dockerize each Django Microservice. I have to dockerize each of this with its Docker file. I've explained that earlier. And when I have dockerized each of these services, I have to build and push it. Docker build and Docker push. So I have to. Those are the commands you have to run if you want to deploy your container to what Docker Docker hub. Yes, the reason why I say Docker hub because at the end, when you want to deploy your to the Kubernetes, it's like a step-by-step guide for you to get your end goal to be achieved, or what you setting up your Django REST frameworks. Like each of these APIs calling each other. Like let me just say this: this guy has his own endpoint, like his own unique endpoint attached to it. So, and Kubernetes will provide a way for you to provide services, like the services where each of these services can call each other without any issues, like seamlessly inside this same project, Django REST project. So that's just what I meant. So back to what I was talking about: build and what push using the Docker to Docker container. So like build and push those Docker container you created inside this project, Django project, push to Docker hub. So when I push to Docker hub, now we can move to the second step of what deploying the container to Kubernetes. So Kubernetes Kubernetes has its own environment. So inside this environment, it provides a lot of other unique services you want to enjoy, want to deploy inside the Django project. So services like TLS and SLL, that services or that features this with securing your applications. That's just about that. And the other services provided is the DNS system. So those are the things you enjoy when you deploy your container into Kubernetes. So obviously, when you deploy your Django project from the first step to the Docker hub, you already made a Django. You already making the Docker container. So that's just about that. So create and deploy the configuration file in each microservices to define how many replicas of my services that will be running. So when you deploy Django container, when you deploy your Docker container, to Kubernetes, when you deploy to Kubernetes, each of these services will act as a replica. It's like, okay, I have set it up this using the illustration I have earlier, which is the e-commerce project. So I have this e-commerce project set up and running on my Docker hub, and I've deployed the Kubernetes. So at this point, each of these services will act as a replica. Like I can create like 4 replicas of this same services I have, 4 replicas of this same e-commerce project, and create 4 replicas or 5 replica as many as I want it, because at the end I know this project will be robust. This project I want it to be seamless to end users that use my project, and I don't want any issues at the end when there's call for services like SMS notification, when call for services like the DNS system. All these are provided by provided inside the Kubernetes environment, and there are some services that are not provided by Kubernetes environment. That's where you have to include some third-party service registry that has those provision in place already. For example, like SMS. I'm not sure Kubernetes has SMS services implemented at the back. I'm not sure. So if you want to make more research on that, you should be able to make research on that. So that's explains that. So I'm done with the second step. So inside the second step, it creates replicas of your services that should be up and running for you inside your Docker environment. That explains the second step. The third step is where you have to implement the load balancing. So I said it earlier in the second step that inside this Kubernetes environment, when you've created the replicas of each of your services that are up and running for you, each they say what automatically when these replicas are created inside the Kubernetes environment, each of the services has to come with it a load balancing. What I mean load balancing is what is like a RAS process that will always take requests from the web browser. Okay, I'm a RAS process. I want to take a request from a web browser. For example, I use the illustration which is the e-commerce project or e-commerce website or the e-commerce services. I can take request from the web browser. For example, if the user is accessing my services on the web browser, and okay, the first guy that we guide it up is the load balancer, which is the reverse proxy. So when I get the request sent to the reverse proxy, it goes to the needed replica inside the Kubernetes environment, because I have set up and running. I have the replica set up as a service inside my Kubernetes environment already. So that explains that. That doesn't affect. Those are the things you enjoy because it's just what you have to. Because it's what you have to set up. Because it's just what you needed to get your service up and running. Node balance is just just a guide that will like, okay, this is a request coming from the web browser. It's normal request, another request coming from the web browser. Let me just take up the request and take up the request and send to the replica that will give us the needed resources to as a response to the end users requesting for this needed resources for his own usage or for his own further consideration. So I believe you understand what I mean. So at this point, let me just say this at this moment. If you have any question about what I have discussed or what I've said in this video, I want you to let me know in the comment section below. Just leave your question down in the comment section below, and I'll answer your question. So let us to this part. Deploying each services on each Kubernetes exposes each of the services on different ports and make them accessible externally by public IP. So if you remember, I said it earlier that when users want to access each of my services or my app services or replica apps inside my Kubernetes environment, when I get it deployed on Kubernetes already using the through the second step, each of these services as its own independent replica will be accessible by public IP. So if there's incoming traffic coming from the load balancer and the web browser that make call already from the web browser by users from the web browser, each of these requests will be treated by the load balancer, and when they come from the load balancer will take this request and get it set up to the right replica that can serve me the right resources needed at that point. So when the serving the needed resources at that point, it can return the response back to the end users on the same browser with the necessary resources the users has created for in the first place. Those are the things you enjoy using Kubernetes to set up your own environment. So because inside this Kubernetes environment, each of these services will have its own replica, like what as its own independent replica. So for example, I can have this what's it called users on resource as a replica on its own, independent replica on its own, inside the Kubernetes environment with its own ports and IP. I can have the payment services set up as its own replica on its own with different ports and IP inside the Kubernetes environment. And when users get to the point of requesting for services that deals with payment system, it will make a call to this same replica of payment system, and to get it set up or get it returned to the end users via the response. So I think that explains that. So if you have any question about what I've discussed, I want you to answer. I want you to leave your question at the question will answer your question. So let me just tell you the whole essence of what this step 3 is all about. This step 3 is just provide a load balance system. Yeah, so when you deploy your services to Kubernetes environment, Kubernetes environment automatically has a DNS system set up on its own for each replica set up inside this environment. So okay, for example, I have like 3 services deployed inside the Kubernetes environment. Each of the services has its own DNS system. Okay, like one DNS system. This set up independent for each of these services. So when I have this DNS set up independent for each of the services, it will have its own different port and different IP. So for example, I have like my random users coming to your e-commerce website, and I want to access these 4 services that deals with payment system, or these 4 services that deals with user sort and registration. I will have to I have to call the right endpoint, because first of all I have to hit this guy, the first guy, which is the load balancer. When it hits the load balancer, to come to the right services or right replica inside the Kubernetes environment, and to return to the end users the right resources needed by the same users at that moment. So that's explaining all about step 3. So let's do step 4 now. So Kubernetes offers its own services. I talked about that earlier. Like Kubernetes offers its own services, DNS services like DNS and other services that you needed for your for Django framework project and inside the environment. So other services like there will come a time in your own production, in your own development and operation, when there will be some services that are not offered by Kubernetes. That's when you have to include some third-party services registry that you might want to use, like console and Heroka. I want you to make a more research about this console and Heroka at your free time, at your own convenient time, to know what other services it offers that will be applicable to your project at that moment. For example, if some SMS notifications is given by this console, or is provided by this console and Heroka, you can get it deployed inside your Kubernetes environment as dependencies. And when you get it deployed, set it up as a dependency inside Kubernetes, you can have it up and running when the services started, when each of these replica services started inside your environment in Kubernetes. So that's just what step 4 is all about. Because I believe obviously most time there will be some services or some features you want to access that is not provided by Kubernetes, and that is when the top parties registry services will come, the top parties service discovery will come in to offer the features you needed for your project at that moment. So that's just all about step 4. And the last one, which is step 5, is the monitor and scale with Kubernetes. So most times when you get your project, your web apps, your services deploy from Docker to Kubernetes, they get a point when users are using your project or using your applications, your platform. When users are using your platform or applications or services, when they get to that point, they get a point you need all these KPIs for how you can scale, because before you can scale, there will be some certain benchmark or some certain KPIs you have to check. Okay, before I scale for example, is it my database? What are the things I need to check inside the KPIs and the metrics provided by Kubernetes before I can scale either my database or either other services I want to scale inside this replica of the Kubernetes environment I want to scale up, like to be broader, to be larger for more users that use my application, my platform. That's the scenario of where scaling will come in for the developers or the system that want to get this system that want to get this environment set it up at that moment. So if you have any other services that you want to get it set up and running inside your Kubernetes environment that is not provided by Kubernetes, you can add it as dependencies and configure it to start up when the service is starting up inside your Kubernetes environment. So I believe with just this 5 steps, you understand how to set up your your Django REST frameworks, and how to make how to set up your Django framework using the Microservices architecture, and how to have your services registry rendered from Kubernetes environment. And if some services are not provided by Kubernetes, you can have it set up by using other third party service discovery like console and Heroka. So when you have all these things set up, you can now have a robust Django project, a Django platform that is up and running using Kubernetes inside Kubernetes environment, giving which all each of the services provided with inside the environment up and running without any issues, without any issues from one of the replica or not. So one of the replica or the other. So that's just explain that better well. So I believe at this point, and don't forget, let me just put in this still at this moment. When you set up your when you have each of these replicas set up inside your Kubernetes environment, each of these ports, each of these services or these replicas can make a call to each other inside the environment. It will make like, since it before it can be accessible outside externally by public IPs, each of these services, each of the replicas has to be able to communicate with each other using their endpoint within the same environment. Okay, for example, the first replica, which is the payment, can make a call to the card replicas, because when they get to a point that the card has been processed and the payment has been successful, the card has to be updated. So this is where this call or this REST API calls will have to come in. So okay, there's a go back and forth calls of each other. So those are the ways steps where replicas have to make a call to one another within the same Kubernetes environment. So I think that explains that better. So if you have any question, so sorry, since I've been very fast with my explanation, and I believe if you have any question about what I've discussed, you can just let me know. I will have to answer your question definitely at the comment section below. Just make it very clear to me what you need more explanation about in the comment section below, and I'll answer your question. So at this point, I believe you gain a lot from this video. And if you have any question, I always say, I've said it before, kindly leave it down in the comment section below and answer your question. So please, thank you for watching my video, and I want you to like and subscribe for more videos like this, and share this video with your DevOps guys, people that get into DevOps, people are already in DevOps, or developers or programmers that are out there that have used Docker, that know much about Docker, that know more about Kubernetes and what is provided to services, to platform, to applications that are using it already and that want to set it up in their own system. So that is all about that. Thank you for watching my video, and like and subscribe for more. Bye for now.